Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is sponsored by Kemy Hair. They sent me 4 bundles in a closure of their Brazilian straight hair texture. I love the hair texture. The bundles are really thick, full, and long. As for the closure, it is a 3-part closure, so I'm going to be customizing it later on in the video. So to start off, you need a mannequin or a canvas head as well as a wig cap. I use the spandex dome style wig cap, which is ultra stretchy and very easy to sew with. So you're going to just apply that to your canvas head and get ready to sew. Make sure you thread a lot of needles because it makes everything go faster. So bleaching the closure, here is the closure, as well as the BW2 bleaching powder, your 40 volume developer, and to tone it all up, you're going to need some Kaleido Colors and blue toner. And I'm going to also be tinting the closure with some Adore Me hair color as well. So this is everything that I need, as well as a bowl and a knife. So let's get started. So I'm just going to be using the bowl and I'm going to be placing in all of my contents and ingredients. So I just start off in random order with my toner, my bleaching powder, as well as my 40 volume developer, and I'm going to start to go ahead and mix. Now when you mix, you want the consistency to be kind of thick, that way it's not too liquidy and drips through the actual lace. So make sure you get it thick enough. So here is the closure. We're going to start to apply that bleaching concoction. I'm going to be taking my knife in my bowl and I'm just applying this all over the lace closure. You want it to be thick again, that way it doesn't seep through and it coats every part of the lace closure so that it goes to a color that matches with our scalp color. Wait about 25 minutes for everything to process and move on to the next step. So we're going to actually wash that out. And I'm going to just be using some regular conditioner and or shampoo. Rinse it out thoroughly so that you can stop the processing altogether, so that when we go to tint the closure, we don't have anything being colored or miscolored when we're all said and done. This is what the hair looked like when the knots were pretty much bleached, and I'm going to actually go ahead and tint. So I just boiled some hot water and put in my Adore Me hair color, stirred it, and I'm just going to be dipping the closure right in. So I just dipped it down, let it sit for about 30 minutes I would say, and I just waited for it to take the color, and when I was done I pulled it right out. But you definitely want to make sure that it saturates in the color. So moving on to sewing, we're going to be sewing back and forth starting from the side in like a U shape. So I do this for like the first 2 bundles being doubled and then straight across for the other 2 bundles. So I'm starting with the side like I said, and I'm going to be taking my needle and I'm going to be applying it into the side part. I do this because it adds for more fullness on the back and the sides of the hair. That way your hair deposits all over the hair, making it nice and full. You don't just want all your length in the back, you want it to be all over the head. So I'm starting with the first bundle, inserting the weft, and I'm just going to be doing this back and forth all around the entire wig unit. What I like about sewing this style is that I get to see how much hair that I need to use. That way if I know I'm running out, I can pull with some extra hair, or I can just make sure that I don't double all my wefts so that I have enough once I get to the top. So this is what the wig looked like when it was all said and done and finished, and we're going to start to be working on the closure. So here's a close-up of the closure. As you can see, there's like a brown hue at the front. That's because we tinted our lace closure to match our scalp and our front forehead area color. So I'm going to be doing a middle part style using my olive oil wrap mousse set. This is the best, I swear. And I'm going to just be setting that parting section in stone. So this is just going to make sure the hair trains to sit in that style. So I go ahead and do that, and I plucked and tweezed off camera. I'm taking my flat iron and making sure that the closure lays flat and training the hair to sit on one side or the other, and I'm just going to be doing that thoroughly throughout the entire head. I love styling the hair because you get to start to see how everything is finished and what it's going to look like when you go to put it on your head. So again, here's the wig when it was all said and done. The hair was super soft, super long, and super silky. I love a straight hair unit. Here's a close-up of the closure. And here's another look of the entire wig unit. So the hair, again, sleek and silky. So I cut off that excess lace and I made sure that the scalp color was blendable, and I brushed out my hair and got my hair prepped. I did my edges, did my makeup, put on my wig cap, and I'm just applying the hair onto my head, flipping it over, just moving it around, making sure that it sits in the middle. I made sure to adjust it to where I want, making sure that my hair is just laying flat. And this is pretty much what the hair looked like when it was all said and done. It's just another sleek style, making it look nice and real cute, on and popping. It's a hot girl summer, so I'm looking like a hot girl per usual, and this is pretty much what it looks like. So you guys can check out my Instagram for my wigs, which is Wigs by Queen Chioma. Make sure you check the description box down below, and let's get right into this video. Hi guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video.
Nigga, pay attention.
So I am back with another video, and by today's title you can tell that we're going to be talking about the one and only Chris Brown. Now I know I'm late. I know this tea is about, it's not even lukewarm. The tea might be damn near frozen. But this was a requested video, and you know, I was on break. You know, I told you I'd be taking my breaks for my mental health, and if I don't feel like being on YouTube, I won't. But I'm back, and I'm still gonna give you guys my opinions and my tea, because I feel like there's certain parts of the whole entire situation that people are leaving out. So basically what happened was Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, and Joyner Lucas, they dropped their new song, and the song was called Need a Stat. And within the song, there's a line that has a lot of black women, or had a lot of black women, up in arms and offended. In that line, he said, "Only wanna fuck the black bitches with the nice hair." So I feel like when it comes to something like this, if you don't understand why people are upset, you are also part of the problem. It's not about having confidence. It's not about not caring what people think about you. It's not about none of that. It's just simply that there's certain things that you just don't say when you have a certain amount of influence. So I've broken my video down into 5 main talking points, so let's get right into this video. Point number 1, Chris Brown been a colorist. Like, this is nothing new. I don't even know why people were kind of shocked. I think we were shocked because we weren't expecting him to just say it so blatantly and so harshly. Like, we knew in the back of our head, okay, Chris Brown, when have we ever seen him with a black woman? Never. But we didn't think that he was really this stupid low-key and this capable of just saying something so downright harsh, because it's like, in this day and age, how can you not be aware of the social structure of black women, and when it comes to colorism and texturism and all the isms, and whether he wrote it or not, record it, sing it, mix and master it, and put it out, and then think that nobody was gonna catch what he said. That's what I think most people were shocked about. It's not necessarily what he said, because let's be real, there are black men that speak like this all the time. There are black men that say things like this. There are black men that are good looking, bad looking, attractive, unattractive, that still have this mentality that there's this such thing as hair that is better than others. His baby mother, Nia Guzman, and his ex-girlfriend, Karuchi, are all women of lighter complexion, women who are racially ambiguous, and women who are just blatantly not black. The only person that he was with that was black, which is Rihanna, which I always talk about how I feel like a lot of men, when they're first starting out in their industry or their career, they're gonna be with the black women. They're gonna be with black women. They're gonna be with even darker women. But once they get to a certain icon status, that's when they ditch black women for women who are not black. And that seems to be the issue with a lot of successful black men. We've seen it time and time again. But Rihanna, who's also light-skinned and honestly has a lot of European features, from her eye color, her face structure, things like that, she's a black woman, quite all right, yes, but she does not necessarily pass as the stereotypical black woman. And in terms of colorism and his, like, I guess you could say his stance on race, he said black bitches. Why aren't we as mad at the part that he said black bitches? Granted, we call each other bitches. I mean, like, hey bitch, oh you look good bitch, yes bitch, yes, we say that. There's ways that that word is used as a term of endearment, and I believe that we can do that. A lot of times people said, why are we offended when, you know, people use the word bitch or nigga or whatever it is? I feel like we've somehow coined those terms into, in a way, depending on the sentence structure, a term of endearment. So I can understand us saying that as black women. There's a way that you can use certain words, and we're not gonna act like we can't do that. We know that Chris Brown meant it in a derogatory way. He meant it in a way that shames us. He meant it in a way that just isn't here for uplifting black women. Now, does he really have to? Is he obligated to? No. Should he? Yes, because it's the right thing to do. Again, why did he think in generation sensitive, because that's what I call this generation, is generation sensitive or sensitive generation, and in generation canceled, because this also is cancel culture generation, and in generation uproar, no pun intended to my man's Lil Wayne, that this was acceptable to say. Like, you know the state of the black race and women when it comes to our hair, our skin color, you know, representation. What made you think it was okay to say this? Like, I feel like I'm more shocked that he just did it and didn't care and thought it was okay, and then sat here and is not necessarily even remorseful or mad about what he did. Point number 2, I got this argument a lot. Well, if you weren't insecure, you wouldn't be offended. Bullshit, okay? Horse shit. Bullshit. It's all, that's just dumb to say. That's like saying, oh well, if you were secure with yourself as a black person and you knew yourself, you know, you wouldn't be afraid of the police. No, you could still feel apprehensive or hesitant around certain stuff and still be secure and know your rights. I can know my rights as a black person, but still feel ways when I'm around people of authority who have had a history of disrespecting me. And that's the same way. Like, I can still be offended even if I am secure within myself. And I feel like this argument is so counterproductive to even say. But I do have to call out, black women do confuse me a lot with their outrages. A lot of you guys say that you want us to stick together, embrace and uplift and promote one another. But then some of you guys sat there and defended him, and not only that, but justified your hair texture by participating in his nice hair challenge. Like, why did you even feed into anything that this colorist, texturist, and everything else underneath the sun had to say when you know it was him doing this stuff for attention, for likes, for outrage, and to just promote his song? Honestly, outrage does make things go viral. Viral stories, outrage, all of that stuff is really what helps to sell music, sell movies, sell a whole bunch of things. And people, celebrities, influencers will prey on the fact that there's something going on that maybe negatively affects them in a way, but will still use that clout to push what they're doing. And black women, we gave right into that. And then not only that, but women further perpetuate the same BS that you get mad at men for saying on yourselves. Like, there's some girls who are black who were sitting there saying, well, I have nice hair, so he can't be talking about me. Or yeah, he's only gonna F with me because I have nice hair. And it's just like, what the hell is nice hair? What the hell is nice and good and all that? You know what I'm saying? You guys need to, yes, have more confidence within yourself, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't be offended, because I like my hair. Whether I wear a wig or not, I like my hair. People are gonna tell me, oh, well then why don't you show it? Because I don't have to, okay? I'm in front of these big lights. It pays my bills. I don't have to show you what my hair looks like, but I know I like my hair. And that doesn't mean that I'm insecure, but that doesn't mean that I can't also be offended by what he said, because I knew exactly what he was trying to say. Which brings me to point number 3. Stop trying to act like you didn't know what he meant by his comments. Stop camouflaging ignorance and all these different isms as preference. We're gonna have to stop doing that. Y'all keep defending preferences, and that's not even preference. Again, I'm gonna say this for like the 1,000th time on my channel. You don't have to put something down to justify your preference. You don't have to talk down about somebody's features to uplift another feature. For example, if I like dark-skinned men, I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, I like dark-skinned men because light-skinned men are ugly and they're sensitive and, you know, nobody likes them and they're so feminine and girly. That's not preference, okay? My preference would have been, I like dark-skinned men for 1, 2, 3, X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C reason. You shouldn't be sitting here talking about your preferences by putting down another person and saying, well, that's his preference. No, his preference would have been, I like the girl with the curly hair that's loose or whatever. That's your preference, whatever. You don't have to put down somebody to uplift your preference. That's not preference. I'm sorry, but it's not. And the more you guys keep camouflaging this as preference, the more issues we're gonna continue to have in this damn race. Point number 4 was Tokyo Vanity speaking out, because I think it definitely heightened the situation, and I think it added to a lot of why people were able to justify why Chris Brown is a colorist and a texturist, and basically was able to define exactly what he meant by his line. She came out and she basically let everybody know that Chris Brown does not allow darker skinned women to be in his sections at nightclubs. Now, this is a known fact in high-end clubs. Like, for sure, this is true. Now, I wanted to do a little story time because I know there's a lot of girls who are young like me. I legitimately have gone through this. When I went to Miami when I was 19 for college spring break. There was a club. They told us all to come. We got all cute, got all pretty. I might still have some clips. And we went down there, and then by the time we got in line, everybody that was being picked to go in was petite, light skin, curly hair, fair skin, just a certain look. Granted, is that right? If they want those look of girls in their club, that is their own platform to do that. But that is a thing that happens where if you do not meet a certain threshold or a certain look, they will not allow you in. And I don't think any girl, any woman, any young woman at that should feel like they have to be validated by a celebrity or a club dictating who can get in, because at the end of the day, when you look at the guys who's the owner of the club, the bouncers, the security, they're usually big back, big fat, ugly black men. A lot of times they are. So they're not even attracted themselves, but they're gonna sit here and tell you who can get into their institution? Absolutely not. Like, You know, I'm one of the baddest. Like, I can get into the club because I'm pretty, but because I'm darker, then all of a sudden I can't get in. And it has happened. It happened to me in Miami. So I do not believe that she was lying. Chris then kept throwing shade at her by posting her saying, you know, I'm gonna take you out on a date. Oh, you so fine. Like, just being real, you know, just annoying and just being real sarcastic. And it goes to show that, like, he's an immature person at hand. Like, he just didn't understand where the outrage was coming from. The fact that he got back and said, you know, you're only offended because you look like this, or you're like this, your hair is like this. It's like, no, just take accountability and be like, you know what? I said it. I meant it. I'm not gonna apologize for what I said because this is the only type of black girls I mess with. Shit, own it. But at the same time, I understand why you guys are offended, and I apologize to my fans. I'm gonna do better in the future. Simple. A lot of celebrities cause their own problems when they can legitimately just take accountability and ownership and end it, but they just choose not to do that because a lot of these people are a little bit off in the head. My fifth and final point is really just the actual issue and the breakdown of what the problem is here. Most black women do not have what society considers nice hair, and that's just the honest facts. And he knew what he was doing. When most of your audience is black women who are the ones that support you, and then you speak negatively about them or their features, whether you intended it or not, or whether you thought you were saying the right thing or not, it is what it is. We know that our hair is coarse. We know that our hair, if it's not coarse, it still has more of a texture. It's more kinky. It may be more dry. It is what it is. That's just the hair that God gave us. We can't change it. I can shave my hair down to the gristle, and I'm still gonna have 4B, 4C hair. It is what it is. It's already hard enough to quote unquote love yourself, because everyone's always said, well, you should love yourself, love the skin you're in. It's hard enough to do that, and it's easier said than done. I hate when people write in my comments, oh, you need to wear your natural hair because you need to love yourself. What does my natural hair, a small percentage of my appearance, have to do with me loving my entire self? Very uncorrelated. But anyway, it's already hard enough to love yourself when your own direct male counterparts and black men talk down about you and put you down and basically uplift other women over you. And you may say, well, build the confidence, or it's their preference. Yeah, we're trying, but it's already hard enough when you feel like you don't have anybody in your corner. Who really goes for black women with the Afrocentric features? Black men, yes, I see y'all are out there, but you cannot sit here and say that there aren't a very big group of black men who don't like that. And that's what the issue is here. And then there are other races that are reminding us that we are socially ugly or unattractive, or whatever you want to call it. Like, there's so many ways that they do this. Even with the new Ariel thing, they've already made jokes about it just because it's a black woman playing Ariel. It's like, you see how they treat us, and then when you think you have an ally, which is your direct counterparts, but then they do you dirty. And usually it's the ones that have influence, success, money, power, fame, and all of those things. The upper echelon of men are the ones that are usually acting like that towards us. Also, stop telling me that colorism and texturism is not real, because it's clearly real, and this is a prime example of that. Please stop also telling me that it makes someone insecure to point it out. In my opinion, it makes you strong-willed if you are able to identify a major problem within a race of people that have major problems. That makes you strong. If you can pull out the texturism, the colorism, and call people out, it doesn't make you insecure to speak on fact. Also, saying, well, just don't support him. Why are you guys still supporting? Stop listening to his music. Don't follow him. Is not a practical solution at all. This drove me nuts because it's like, well, why are you still following him? Why do you still support him? Technically, we don't. His music is gonna play on the radio regardless. This man has been a celebrity, has been in the game for over a decade. What do you guys think he's just gonna fall off because of one comment? He beat a whole woman up, bruised her face, made her look damn near unrecognizable, and he still was able to have a career. Chris Brown is not going anywhere, but saying, oh, well, just don't support him, don't buy his music, is not a practical solution. It's calling him out so that he understands you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, and you won't do this. You won't do it to the people that support you the most. That's more practical. It's calling him out than saying, oh, well, don't just support him. Because if you just hide your money or just don't say anything, he's not gonna know or learn what he did wrong. So I just don't feel like that's a practical solution ever. Another thing I didn't like is how he could have chosen to exemplify an example of what he meant by this nice hair of black women, but he decided to further bash and attack and chastise black women, which goes to show he's not gonna learn his lesson. He's stuck in his ways. And yes, we can have outrage and do all of that, but Chris Brown has already made his mind up of how he likes his women to appear. And the harsh reality is, black women, we're not a part of that preference. Chris Brown is not the only guy out here, and quite frankly, he's really not that cute. If you really look at him, Chris Brown really ain't all that. Like, just come on now. Come on. My final thing is, like who you like, have your own preferences, but stop shitting on, let alone mentioning the girls who you claim you don't like. That is my issue. If you really don't like us and you really don't like our hair or whatever, don't mention us, period, okay? Period. One more time. Period. Final time. Period. Do not mention us if you don't like us. Don't even put us in your song if that's the case, because you would have saved yourself a whole bunch of backlash, opinions, loss of fans, and maybe sales had you just kept your 2 cents to yourself. If you like the other girls, talk about the other girls. Don't talk about us, because there's guys out here that are for us. Okay? Hello. So that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on my commentary. Please check the description box down below for Kemy Hair. This is their Brazilian straight. Hope you guys liked it. Wigs by Queen Chioma just launched season 5, so I still have wigs available on my website. $250. They're always $250. Yes. Okay, so make sure you go get yours before they're all gone. And don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.